Welcome to Beacon High School online video. Today we are going to learn about movement in animals. Animals show various kinds of movements like running, swimming, walking, flying, gliding, and creeping. Our body parts also move in different ways when we walk, sit, kneel down, or do some work. We move our fingers and hands. We also move our arms, neck, and legs every time. So, when an animal moves from one place to another, it is called locomotion. Locomotion is done for various reasons for food and shelter, to escape or to protect from their enemies, and also for reproduction. Different animals have different parts which help them in movement. Some animals have backbone, so they are called vertebrates, whereas those animals which do not have backbone, they are called invertebrates. Let us study how the invertebrates shows movement. First is amoeba. Amoeba is a unicellular organism which is found in water, and they move with the help of pseudopodia, which means false foot. These are temporary finger-like projection or outgrowth. The entire body of amoeba moves in the direction in which the pseudopodium is formed. Next is paramecium. Paramecium is another unicellular organism which lives in water and moves with the help of fine hair-like structure called cilia, which is present all over the body. The cilium makes the body move by continuously beating. Next is Euglena. Euglena uses flagella for its movement. The next is Hydra. It is an aquatic multicellular organism which moves slowly with the help of its tentacles. The hydra shows somersault in movement. Next is earthworm. An earthworm has segmented body. It has a very fine hair-like structures called chytid, which hook into the ground and enable the earthworm to pull itself forward. Each segment of earthworm has two sets of muscles, longitudinal and circular, which help the animal move. Chytid are connected with the muscles. Next is snail. Snail have a muscular foot which helps them to move. It gives out mucus which makes the surface of the ground a little slippery. Next is cockroach. Cockroach is an insect which have a three pairs of legs with which they can run around and two pairs of wings which help them to fly, and their body is covered by exoskeleton which is fragmented and that allow movement. Let us study how the vertebrate shows movement. First is fish. The fish have streamlined body and they have tails and fins that helps them to swim in the water. The tail acts as a propeller. Next is frog. Frog lives both on land and in the water. It has two pairs of limbs. The lower limbs are longer than the upper limbs. This helps the animal to jump around on land. It has a webbed feet which help it to swim in water. Then snake. Snake do not have limbs. They have long flexible backbone which help them to move over the surface. The snake have scales on their body that help them in movement. Snake normally move by making loops. Then birds. Birds have a pair of legs and a pair of wings. When birds are on the ground, they walk or hop about with their legs. and when they fly, they uses their wings and tail. The movement of wings downstroke and upstroke helps the birds to fly. In the downstroke, the wings are moved down, lifting the body forward in the air, and in the upstroke, the wings are lifted upwards. The skeleton. Let us know how the human being shows movement. Human skeleton consists of 206 bone. It is divided into the following parts: skull, rib cage, backbone, girdles like pectoral girdle, pelvic girdle, bones of the upper limb, bones of the lower limb. Let us study in detail about the different parts of the skeleton. First is skull. This is the uppermost part of the skeleton, which gives the shape to our face and head. It protects the brain from any injury. Skull is made up of many small bones. All bones in the skull are fixed except the lower jaw. The movable lower jaw allow us to speak and chew food. Next part of skeleton is rib cage. Rib cage is set of bones that protects our heart and the lungs. It is made up of small strips of bones called ribs. A long bone at the center of the chest is called sternum. It holds the ribs in place in the front. Ribs are also attached to the backbone, and the last two pairs of ribs are not attached to the sternum but it is attached to the backbone. They are called floating ribs. Movement of the rib cage helps in breathing. Then vertebral column, which is also called as backbone. It is made up of smaller bones called vertebrae, which is arranged in a chain. There are normally 33 of them. Bending is possible because of this backbone only. Backbone gives support to the body and it also protects the spinal cord. Next part of skeletal system is girdles. There are two girdles present in our body. One is pectoral girdle and other one is pelvic girdle. Pectoral girdle is also known as shoulder girdle. It consists of shoulder bone and the collar bone, that is clavicle. The shoulder girdle supports the bones of the arm. Next is pelvic girdle. Pelvic girdle is also known as hip girdle. It consists of hip bones. The pelvic girdle supports the bones of the leg. Now, upper limb bones. Our arm consists of one long bone that is attached to the shoulder and two lower bones below the elbow, that is radius and ulna, and then a group of smaller bones in the wrist, hand and fingers. They help in gripping, holding and writing. The long upper arm bone is called humerus. Now bones of the lower limb bones. The leg has large bone above the knee known as femur and two bones, that is tibia and fibula, below it. And there are smaller bones in the ankle, foot and toes. Joints. The point where two bones meet is called joint. There are different types of joint present in our body. These joints are responsible for different kinds of movement. Some joints allow fully fledged rotation of the body part, some allow just a partial movement, while some do not allow any movement. So there are two types of joint, immovable and movable. Immovable joints are present in the skull, except the lower jaw bone. Now let us know about the different types of movable joints. Hinge joint. Hinge joints are present in the knee and elbow. This allows movement in backward and forward direction. Ball and socket joint. Ball and socket joint are present in the hip joint and the shoulder joint area. In this joint, one end of the bone, that is the round end, fits into the cavity of another bone. This type of joint allows a rotational movement. Pivot joint. It allows rotation around an axis. The neck and the forearms have pivot joint. It allows us to move our neck forward and backward and from side to side. Then gliding joint. In a gliding joint, bones glide over one another. It is present in the ankle and the wrist area. This joint allows movement from side to side and back and forth. Partial movable joints are present at the pelvis and the vertebrae area. They allow only bending and partial movement. Let us know about the cartilage. If you will touch your external ear or tip of your nose, you will feel that the portion is soft. Why they are soft? Because they are made of cartilage, and the cartilage is the soft tissue. It covers the surface of the joints, allowing bones to slide over one another and reduce friction and prevent them from damage. It also acts as a shock absorber. It forms the part of the structure of the skeleton in the ribs. It is also found in the walls of the windpipe and the voice box where it provides support and shape. In an embryo, the skeleton is formed of cartilage, which is gradually replaced by bone as the embryo grows. Muscles. Muscles help us in our movement by pulling or contracting. Muscles cannot push. There are two sets of muscles attached to many of our bones. When one muscles contract, the other pair relaxes and allows the body part to move. Muscles are attached to the bones by a band of tissues called tendons. A good example of pair of muscles working together is bicep and triceps muscles in the arm. Biceps is the two head muscles whereas tricep is the three head muscles. When the arm bends, the biceps muscles contract and the triceps relaxes. And when the arm is straightened, the biceps relaxes and the triceps contract. So the contraction and the relaxation of the biceps and triceps help to move the forearm. So today we have learnt all about the movement in invertebrates, movement of animals, that is vertebrate animal, and then different parts of the skeleton system.